All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Hey, look, I apologize. I had to pause for a second because for some reason, the thumbnails when I post this video up on YouTube, you looking wild. So it's like I realized I kind of got to pause and try to get the thumbnail together. But anyways, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining in with me tonight. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. You could be anywhere else, but you are here with me, and you already know I appreciate that. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't, or should I say you're not subscribed to my channel, please click the notification button, Lord help me, below. Make sure you double click it, so that way you can stay up to date with all my notifications. If you are on Instagram, give it a like, comment, it helps with the algorithm. Do the same thing if you're on YouTube as well. I really appreciate that. Tonight, quickly, we are going to be talking about soul ties. This is going to be a very, very quick but important lesson. So if I could have your attention for like the next three and a half minutes, it would greatly appreciate it. Just to give you a heads up, this is not for kids. All right, so if you're under the age of 18, this might not be the video for you, or, better yet, bump it. Why not? This is something that everybody can use, including teenagers. So I'm going to just go with it, all right? So look, soul ties, right? What is a soul tie? A soul tie is basically a connection. There's different types of soul ties and different types of connections that you can make. But tonight I'm going to specifically be talking about the sexual soul ties. Soul ties are developed through the act of sex. Now let me put this out here. This is no way, any shape or form condemning anyone who has had sex before marriage. This is just letting you know the ins and outs of a sexual soul tie. So a sexual soul tie is when you have sex with an individual and you're making a connection with them, obviously, because you know how sex goes. Anybody who's had sex knows how it works. But then what ends up happening is you take after their spirits, their energy, some of y'all say chakras, their attitudes or whatnot. It starts mixing it with yours. So now all of a sudden, you're taking after some of their personalities. And the reason why is because a merger took place. There's a reason why God designed sex for marriage for those of y'all who believe in God. And he did it because it says in the Bible, a husband shall leave his wife and they shall become one flesh. Now, when they say one flesh, they're not just talking about the unit of holy matrimony or, emotional or spiritual ties. They're talking about the physical ties through physical intimacy, which was one of God's blessings of marriage. You get married, you have sex, you reproduce, right? Now, the reason why soul ties are so dangerous is because, unfortunately, we live in a sexually saturated environment. And when you're having a soul tie, you're making a connection. And as everybody knows, making a connection with just any old body is not a good thing. You have to be very careful who you make a connection with, because if you're not making a connection with the right person, it can really, really mess you up. And in today's age, it's so easy to hook up and get laid from dating websites. And now you're making connections with all types of people that ain't even really meant to be yours. It's one thing if you make a connection with your husband or your wife through a physical means, that's beautiful. When you're making a connection with somebody you just met at the club 3 hours ago, that's not going to do you no good because you don't even know this person. You don't know if they're a killer. You don't know if they are mentally psycho. You don't know what they are. And, a lot of times we're not really careful about that. So that's why soul ties are dangerous. And as I stated before, the effects of soul ties is you start to mix your spirit with theirs. And next thing you know, you're wondering why you're acting weird. And then also with a soul tie, is you're never satisfied. Unless they are your husband or your wife, you're not satisfied. It doesn't matter how good or bad the sex is. When it's a soul tie, you're not satisfied because you're steadily going from person to person to person. And even if you're not about that life, you're making a connection that probably wasn't necessarily the right connection. You know what I'm saying? And this is just me keeping it 100 with y'all. Now, if you've done it, it is what it is. It happened. But now I'm going to tell you, how do you break apart from a soul tie? Let's say you're in a situation and you're like, man, I want to let these soul ties go. Let me just tell you, there's two things you got to do. Number one, you got to pray. You ain't getting rid of them soul ties if you ain't praying. Soul ties are hardships and they are tough to get rid of. You got to pray your way through those things. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but you need to talk to somebody, get some help. There's some people that have been where you've been at. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to try to struggle to get rid of the soul tie alone. There are people here to help you. Shoot, I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? I get it, So just understand that soul ties can be great if it's in the right predicament and you're making the right connection, aka your husband or wife. If it's not that, they can be very dangerous. You got to be careful. Okay? So that's it for tonight. That's my lesson. Thank you guys for joining in. Greatly appreciate it. Join me next month. Motivational March. More details coming from you soon. Marcus Frazier, Teachable Tuesdays, and I motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Love you. Have a good night.